Justin Lucas Savage at Backcountry Treks, and I have got a stash of gloves here that I need to show you. I went out and I have tested all of these in the backcountry, on the ski slopes, and most of these reviews I did at Ski Cooper. And so in one day, I had a backpack full of all these, and I swapped back and forth, cold conditions, warm conditions, sun, shade, and I tried all of them. So I'm here to, and by the way, I love all of these, but I'm going to show you what I like best about each of them. So first up, when it was really cold out, I started with this pair of gloves by Mountain Hardwear. These are the most expensive gloves of the entire review, and I think that there's a purpose behind that, a good reason behind that. I'm not going to get too into detail on each of the gloves. At backcountrytreks.com, I'll have a link in this post that will link to the review of each of these. This had real nice insulation. It has this pre-curvature going on throughout the fingers there, so you can see right out of the package these things are pre-curved. And I've got a light jacket on here to show you how this looks, so you can compare each of these. There's no insulation in about this much of the glove, so just on the wrist, which is perfect. You don't need your wrist insulated. It's a tight-fitting glove, and our next door neighbor here is a guide and a special forces instructor, and I had him trying this on the other day, and it feels tight when you put it on, but it's warm. I haven't had a problem. If your glove is too tight, you're not going to have, it's going to cut off your circulation. It's going to be cold, so you want a little bit of room in there. A good all-around glove. It's expensive at $175. If you're looking for an all-around glove for ice climbing, ski touring, backcountry, resorts, cold weather, this is going to be a perfect glove for that. Real easy to cinch it with one hand with a glove on. That's the baseline that I test all these. I want to be able to put my gloves and take them on and off with just one hand while I've got a glove on the other hand. I don't want to have to be using my teeth and all that. So one hand cinch, one hand to uncinch it. Real easy on and off. By Mountain Hardwear, it's the Bulldog, B-O-L-D-O-G. Great all-around glove. It sort of mixes the synthetic and the leather really good, and I think they're going to be really durable on the resort and the backcountry. Next up, the gloves that I tried out because it was cold outside. I went to this pair of gloves by First Ascent. It's just in 2012 they redid this, overhauled this glove. This is the Guide Glove 2.0. Different construction. It doesn't go over, but it goes under. So even on this small sleeve, you can see that it fits real nice in there. A lot of dexterity for ice climbing. One of the first gloves out of this whole stash that I took ice climbing, on the knuckles has a little bit of padding. Not on the knuckles, rather on the bends of your fingers. There's probably a doctoral or physiological name for that, but that'll help prevent your fingers from getting smashed on the ice. A lot of dexterity. It's a thinner glove than the Mountain Hardwear. Has a little bit of a pre-curve. They don't talk about that on their website at all, or maybe that was because I've just been wearing them. I don't think it is. I think there is a little bit of a pre-curve, which is good. Or you don't have a lot of bulk anywhere. It's insulated very nicely, and so it's going to keep your hand warm. And then you've got the little wrist here, goes over your wrist, and so that fits right over your jacket nicely. These gloves are about $120 retail. First Ascent also sent me another pair of gloves called the Guide Light, and let me find the right one here and compare these two for you. It's basically the same glove without insulation, so it's lined with fleece, so it's a really lightweight glove. So if you're doing any sort of ice climbing, late season skiing, early season skiing, anywhere but when it's going to be really cold. As it started to warm up at the resort the other day, I put these on, and it was great skiing down, but when I sat there on the ski lift feeling the wind, and it wasn't windy at all, it's just the wind of the lift going up, so it's just very, very slow. Just hitting it is chilling the fingers. But a lot of dexterity because it's a really lightweight glove. It's the Guide Light by First Ascent. Both of these gloves from Eddie Bauer First Ascent come with Nick Wax, so you can waterproof them. We're up in the Front Range of Colorado, and it's pretty dry up here, so I have not used them at all, and I have not experienced wet hands. Now, keep in mind that I'm not making snow at the resort or anything like that, so I'm not constantly out playing in the snow. But I'm putting them through the paces, and these things stay completely dry. And now I will put Nick Wax on them, just so I can be sure that when I'm in the backcountry they're going to be good. But I haven't put anything on because I wanted to see how far they would go without getting wet. Speaking of getting wet, this pair of gloves by Kinco. My brother also did a review on these. He works up, he makes snow at Cresta Butte Resort here in Colorado. A great glove. You see a lot of the guides, ski patrollers, anybody working at the resort is going to have these Kinco gloves. These are the most heavy duty, most durable. By the way, I did mention these $120 and these about $65. The Guide Light 2.0, $120, and the Guide Light is $60 and the Guide 2.0 is $120. So by Kinco, these are the least expensive, $28 retail. You can probably find them cheaper at your hardware store even. You'll see a lot of people skiing with these things, even backcountry guides, because they're so warm. They're double, what do they call this, heat keep insulation. So it's really thick. Now, you saw the reviews of these. We did 2 separate videos on them. I want to show you a before and after. This is what they look like right out of the package. Not too different here than what this looks like. I have put these through the paces. I spent half a day cutting wood with a chainsaw and then splitting it. I've had these in the backcountry touring. I've had them on the ski resort. In the review I mentioned that I dunked them in water and just did this to see without any waterproofing whatsoever. It took about 7-8 minutes before I felt anything. My hands never got wet, by the way. I gave up after 10 minutes. I felt a little damp in between some of the fingers, I think, and kind of out here on the side. It took forever to do that. Double leather for durability on these 4 fingers and the palm. By Kinco, this is the ski glove, $28 in a hardware store. You can't go wrong with that. So here's the thing. $175 versus a $28 glove. These are going to be warm, in fact a little bit warmer than these. These will take a long time to break in, but I'm not going to hesitate to change the oil in a car to cut wood with it. I want to be real careful with these since they're so expensive. But again, if I'm out in the backcountry, I do want something I'm going to be sure is going to protect my hands. So those are those, the Kinco ski gloves. By Columbia, this is the Snow Striker, and I want to get this one right. The Snow Striker is $145. Now it goes over the sleeve. This is the other glove that I had that went over the sleeve. My gripe about these is that the cuff is a little small, so my jacket's kind of bunching up, and this isn't a big jacket. So bunching up, and this is totally relaxed here. One hand to cinch it up, one hand to release it. That's what I love about this glove. It's Omni Heat, so on the inside you have the space-age material that reflects the light back, or not the light, reflects the heat back onto your skin. It actually does work really, really well. I've tried it out in a number of things, and for as thin and lightweight as this glove is, there's not much to it. Compresses up, very little insulation, and in fact, it's going to be very similar, maybe a little bit more insulation compared to the First Ascent Guide Light. But with the Omni Heat, it feels a lot warmer. They're also completely black, so you've got that working for you too. Reinforced with leather on the palm and the forefinger. And they have, might not be able to see this on the video, there's a little bit of a kind of a suede right here on the pointer finger, and that's to wipe your snot in the winter, which I love. I get it's all over my sleeve and stuff, and you probably didn't want to know that, but I love that on this glove. You're wiping that with a leather one, and your nose is just going to get eaten up. While I've got this glove out, this is a little bit more difficult to do, to put your gloves on. See, there you go. To put your gloves on with a glove on the other hand, because you don't have as much dexterity in these things. They're a little bit stiffer, we mentioned in the review, so to pull this up and over just takes a little bit of work, is all on those. Now, let me show you one more glove. This is going to be my favorite all-around glove for this review. I love all these gloves, and I wouldn't hesitate to pick any of them up. So if something resonates with you there, definitely do that. This is a glove by Flylow. It's going to be similar to the Kinkos, smaller, not as, in fact, you can see here these things right out of the package. They're stiff, and we mentioned that in the review. Again, I think they're definitely worth it. These are $2 more. They're not as stiff. There's not as much to them. Maybe not quite as warm. Maybe not quite as durable. They don't have the double leather on the palm and the fingers, but it's a warm glove. It's fleece. It has a little light insulation, and it's already snow sealed. So the snow seal that you might put on the Kinkos is you're gonna be up. It's only a $2 difference. You're gonna spend $2 putting the snow seal on the Kinkos as well. This glove from Flylow, all one word. You'll see these guys working at the resorts and backcountry skiers and whatnot using these. Very flexible. You've got a lot of dexterity, so I wouldn't hesitate to ice climb in these. With the snow seal, I haven't felt any sort of water coming through, no dampness, there's nothing happening there. It's a great glove, and in fact, I've had these things at home. Since you've got the dexterity, it's not as easy as maybe the First Ascent, but to throw your jacket over your sleeve. These are kind of my go-to gloves, so I'm out here driving, doing stuff early morning. I'm gonna put these gloves on. They fit really good and they're supple. I couldn't tie my shoe in them, but I could dig my keys out of my pocket and check the mail. So it's the Tough Guy glove by Flylow. $30 is the retail on these. And I think because they're so inexpensive and because of the quality, these are gonna be my go-to gloves. When it gets colder, I'm switching over to the Mountain Hardwear Bulldog for $175. It's a pretty big jump. But any of these gloves that you pick up, from Kinco, First Ascent, Columbia, Flylow, Mountain Hardwear, you're absolutely going to love. Find something that works for you, that fits your fingers well, that has some space between your fingers. Your fingers shouldn't be buttoned up against the ends, and they shouldn't be too constricted. And you'll get out with any of these and have fun in the backcountry and love it. I'm Justin Lucas Savage at Backcountry Treks.